Hey guys, Casey Maxwell here with Art of Divine Touch. I wanted to touch base and talk a little bit about what's happening in the universe right now, but more importantly within our own planet. I've been watching a lot of different YouTube videos and kind of touching in visually and spiritually with other like-minded people, and really allowing that to continue to inspire me and how I want to continue to share similar knowledge with you guys. So within the planet right now, we are really elevating and raising our vibration to a higher consciousness within this fifth dimension and continuing to escalate and elevate. Now, an important thing to remember when it comes to contemplating the fact that we are elevating into a different dimension is that we have a lot of stuckness in the planet, within our own emotional bodies, within other people's emotional bodies. There's a lot of energy that has to release itself, that needs to be transmuted and cleansed and purified and kind of worked through in a more positive way to elevate us. There's been a lot of things that have happened on this planet, from war, one of the biggest ones, all this fighting, all this pain, all this trauma. And it's just amazing to me that people have really struggled, even within their now moments of consciousness, to perceive what is happening as the planet releases these painful experiences, and how we feel as we release them, how we feel tapping into other people releasing these painful experiences. It's mind-blowing that it seems to have taken us so long to even get to this place in this dimension consciously, and how we perceive time and space to be completely different, than what the universe is working in, and being able to be in alignment with how we also perceive time and space, to be more patient with ourselves, with our own healing process, and more patient with other people's healing process, that we're not being judgmental. A huge part about being able to be aware of what's happening within the planet is to get your place in your life where you're elevating your own vibrations, that you're becoming more one with God consciousness, with spirit, with source. And to do that, a huge part of it is not just the self-love within yourself, but your selflessness for others. Being able to rise yourself to a higher vibrational is needing to want to help people, to need to bring in your family, your soul family, your community, to be on the same page as you. It's a desire that we have, so we feel like we're more in alignment with ourselves if we're supporting and helping the people around us that we feel are really struggling to move through the energies and the lower vibrations that are keeping them down. Another thing that's huge about raising your vibrations when it comes to supporting other people is really moving through judgment in a positive way. Being able to perceive other people more as the innocence of child within them, and the growth process that they themselves also have to go through. As well as how we nurture and how we take care of the physical dimension that we're in, our physical body, to see more of this oneness within all things, within ourselves and the connection. The moment you start to change things about the way you perceive yourself, you perceive others, you perceive your physical body, you perceive the food that you eat, the judgment that you've placed on yourself, the conditioning of the world around you from your parents, from your teachers, from political source, what history has told us is how things are. Once we change that perception, we instantly start to become more elevated in this higher consciousness, but it opens up gateways in our mind where we will start experiencing and seeing things in a different way. And that's in the sense of our psychic ability. Psych means soul. Being a psychic is everybody, is everything. It is the essence and true nature of we are, and which people and science have denied this to be possible, yet we naturally feel things without thinking that it's science. You walk into a room and you start tapping into everybody in that room, whether you go to the grocery store, or you're at a party, or you go wine tasting, wherever you're going, you walk into this room and you tap into a vibrational level of understanding how people are communicating, because it instantly makes you perceive yourself differently and how you want to step into that room and be perceived by others, that you change your vibrational level. And this is all a form of communicating telepathically that we do on a regular basis and very naturally, and that people just seem to deny as a natural part of being. So the more you do things with this new perception around how you see yourself and others, and raise yourself to this higher vibrational level, and be more proactive about being in the present moment, and be more proactive about drinking your water, being more proactive about your positive self-talk, and being one with people around you in a more authentic way, it instantly sends a shockwave of vibration from the earth energies into your body, but also the soul and spirit source above you in this higher consciousness. You'll vibrationally feel things different. For me, as I became more and more elevated, and even more recently, I'm able to physically see things differently. Not from a mushroom trip or an acid trip or going on some crazy hallucinogenic, but very naturally, without any kind of substance, can see lights and ores and vibrations and the grid work and the waves and the colors around objects, around people. And this isn't just from my third eye perception and what I get visually, but it's now starting to be manifested where I can see the radiation, I can see the glitter of how it radiates off of plants, off of objects, off of people. The colors become more vibrant and formed. There's a shadow or a light around everything. And the more that your psychic ability enhances through being proactive about raising your vibrational level, the more that you will also be able to notice it in this physical dimension, to have more proof and groundedness within you that this is the reality that you live in, that you create it, that you cultivate it, that you are this soul being in this human body. So back to what the planet is going through. It is a cell holding numerous and numerous of cells, and we are a cell holding numerous and numerous of cells, and a constant cycle that listens and reads and feels and smells and sees things in a new light. So you have to imagine that since we have created and manifested so much pain and darkness and trauma in the world for centuries and centuries and centuries, and watch souls pass on and get reborn and deal with loss and deal with grief and not understand the world around us, so much so that we sink down into these deep bellows of depression that we can't get out of. It's good to have discernment about what is your emotion and what is others, and knowing that you have that choice. Sometimes we don't feel like we are in control, and we are fully. So it's good to get out of that thought process instantly and foremost, I think, to just step outside of yourself for a moment when you start feeling things and let that awareness kick in, and know that you are in control, and know that you don't have to continue to feel this way or perceive something this way. And even that slight awareness or shift in your consciousness will make you feel more blissful in that moment, even in missed anger or depression or fear. It's so easy to get angry at the world and get angry at ourselves because we feel like we're not seeing change, or we just expect things to continue as they are. And that's just also choosing to stay stuck. It's good to know that you have that choice, and not to upset yourself more in the moment of feeling these lower vibrational emotions, but to flow through it. Another key point, really important, when we have resistance to something, especially when it is a good thing and subconsciously our soul knows that we need it, but the conscious and physical part of us here, tapping into the world around us, just wants to resist or push away, we need it even more. So when resistance comes up and you feed that resistance instead of taking action, it can cause a numerous of things within your emotional body, within your physical body, and make it really hard to shift inertia into a higher place. But even that one moment of this positive thought process that you could have can change everything. And it's not to think that it's like that one thought's not going to do anything, because what if I don't have 10 more positive thoughts or 1,000 more positive thoughts? Just keep going with it. If you have to count your blessings, if you have to really step into yourself in a new way where you tell your cells in your body how much you love them. You know, even if you feel like, oh, I can't look in the mirror and I can't tell myself that I love myself, or there's people that I don't have a lot of respect for, or people that I judge and, well, I don't want to love them, I don't want them to be in my bubble or in my energy field. Start sending healing, love, and light to you, into your cells, and to those other people. You don't have to overanalyze it. You don't have to overthink it. Just stop for a moment and just be like, I send love to this person. I send light to this person. I send healing energy out of whatever judgment that I may have of myself or others. In this moment, I want to be proactive about saying that I believe in your growth. I believe in your positive change. I believe in the ability that you have to be amazing, to live the life of your dreams, to create heaven on earth with yourself, with others. We have full possibility to be living in this dimension in the way that we so choose, with magic, with glitter and rainbow and gumdrops, however you perceive it, whatever fairy tale is yours. It is important to believe in that dream. Your imagination is your greatest tool. Your imagination is conversation with source, with spirit. Imagination is not just images that we randomly think up and have made to seem like it's disbelief. It is fully real, and it is how you communicate with the universe and how the universe communicates with you. Our mind is all about perceiving things in images and taking them in to our thought process and magnifying them and analyzing them and moving them and storing them where we need to store them in our brain based on how we categorize things in our life. So choose imagery that raises your higher vibrational level. Be conscious and aware of everything that you do and interact with around you, because that'll be the last thing you think about when you fall asleep. So if you had something traumatic happen, or you got into a fight with somebody and you in that moment couldn't rein in on your emotional behavior enough to take a step back and be humble and say, I don't have to do this. Or even if we disagree or we're confused, I send love and healing light to you anyways, and I admit and understand and accept that we are on a different path, but that is also equally similar, and we are just trying to learn and figure it out. It becomes so much easier to support somebody if for a moment you can just take a step back. Now I feel like I could just go on and on and on about this, and this little video has taken many segues and has many different perspectives about things that we could talk about, like enhancing your psychic ability, but also the importance of how you perceive your own imagination, how you communicate with the universe and how it communicates with you, how you feel about other people, the judgment that you place on yourself and others. It's all key. It's all important to be more positive in any way that you can. Be a compulsive optimistic. It can be a beautiful thing. Meow meow. Love the earth and all its creatures. Love yourself for the true essence of the light body that you are, the stardust that you are made up of. Believe that there is a realm of ancestors and guides and angels and beings all around you and in many different dimensions, tapping in, really wanting to work with us and to work with other dimensions to continue to be in a more blissful place, to know that that is real, to not hold ourselves back anymore. Remember that you have choice. You have that choice, and that is huge, and don't ever forget that. And that choice really changes, that communication, that self-talk really changes the next step in this moment, the next step in that day, that week, that year, how you continue to live this life in this body, but how you perceive your soul to journey on. So start rewriting your stories. Start with your self-talk. Start with thinking about how you have different perspectives of the people in your life around you or humanity. Have more faith in humanity. Have more faith in us. I just know that we are creating something so much bigger than ourselves, and it radiates and lives within us and all around us, and it's ever growing, exponentially ever growing. With that, I will talk more. I could go on forever, but thanks for tuning in for now and listening. And with that, blessings. Be well.